I just don't buy into the whole analysis of the case that removing McCarthy was the wrong thing to do. The wrong thing to do is to cater and kowtow to those who want to spend your money on government corruption and abuse. And if you object to it, you're an extremist. That's what I object to. The Judiciary Committee Chairman, Jim Jordan's candidacy for the speakership is dead. The Republicans who had put him up and made him speaker designee have decided to secretly vote against him. So he no longer is a speaker designee. He had 3 votes that he pursued, none of which in which he prevailed. And so now it's up for grabs again. There could be as many as 8 people running for speakership. Again, I'm not running for House Speaker, although they will do worse, I'm sure, especially given the current scenario. But I just want to kind of highlight the issues again for you, because you're not going to really get a clear analysis, in my view, from many in the media. Remember, Speaker McCarthy, or the former Speaker McCarthy, is not Speaker anymore because twice he worked with the liberal left in Congress, in the House, to give President Biden essentially an unlimited credit card in terms of a debt ceiling back in the middle of the year. And then just a few weeks ago, he granted the Biden administration its wish list of getting full funding without any restrictions, at least for the next several weeks, with a continuing resolution that he, again, worked with the Democratic left in the House to get passed. So as a result, he lost support for the speakership because he was enabling and serving as someone who was helping Joe Biden spend as much money as he's spending in all the horrible ways that many Republicans thought he was spending. And so, long story short, Jim Jordan becomes the speaker designee after a few weeks of back and forth. But the people who support Kevin McCarthy, or that approach to governance, didn't want him to be speaker. So it was a rejection, not necessarily of Jim Jordan personally, but of what he is perceived to represent, which is an aggressive approach to governance in terms of protecting the public interests from abuse by the federal government, stopping funding of the border invasion, the efforts to jail Trump, the censorship, you name it. And the establishment Republican old guard didn't really want that. Now, they'll say something differently, but that's my analysis. Now, as I've been telling you, that you need repeatedly and often to be calling your members of Congress to share your views about who should be the next Speaker of the House and what their priorities should be. And I didn't understand the process over the last week with Jim Jordan. Jim Jordan we've known for years here at Judicial Watch, but I think he could have pressed a better case for speakership to the public, but he didn't. And of course, those who opposed him really hated the fact that members of the public were communicating their views on the issue with them. Now, some of them were saying they were getting threats and such, and obviously that's not right. No one supports sending anyone death threats. It's illegal. But that's not what the concern was initially. The concern was they were getting too much pressure and bullying because the American people were sharing their views as to what should be happening up on Capitol Hill, and they don't want you to participate. And so when you hear about secret meetings where they select who the speaker is going to be, or secret meetings where the speaker, now next week they're going to have another secret meeting where those who want to be speaker make their pitch. Now, I don't know about you, but I prefer these things to be public. And it's now been 3 weeks. I've never bought into the kind of the sky is falling approach of not having a speaker and the House being limited in its activities as a result. But it's been a long time, and it seems to me if the House were the House leadership or the House Republicans, they need to take this more seriously and just get a speaker nominated or put in place, because there's a lot going on. The stability of the government, in part, is being undermined in a way that I don't think advances constitutional government. So they really need to get their act together. Now, obviously, I want the most conservative speaker possible, right? But we have to have a government that functions. And so I don't understand why they've gone home for the weekend. They're going to go home for a weekend. They're going to have another meeting on Monday. And at this rate, I don't think we'll have a speaker at the end of the week. Maybe we will, but at the end of next week, maybe we will. But I just don't buy into the whole analysis of the case that removing McCarthy was the wrong thing to do. The wrong thing to do is to cater and kowtow to those who want to spend your money on government corruption and abuse. And if you object to it, you're an extremist. That's what I object to. And so when looking to see who should be next speaker, you should share your views. And I would just ask you to consider that we're in a crisis. The federal government is trying to jail its political enemies, the Biden administration. They're funding an invasion. They're using tax money now to fund terrorists in the Middle East through humanitarian assistance, right? And all sorts of abuses. So what next? Call the House of Representatives, your senator, your congressman, 202-225-3121, 202-225-3121. And, let's get it done. In my view, we should have the most conservative speaker possible at leading. But we need to get the government going again, not in the sense that the left thinks it should be going, but in the sense that we have to have an operational House of Representatives so that it can do some basic work beyond holding a hearing now and then. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and like our video down below.